What's up, everybody? It's the Mike and Rich podcast.
What
We
up,
are
what up,
back.
what up? Happy Sunday, bro.
Yeah, man. We got a lot of cool stuff today. All right, so what's the date, man?
All right, so what is it? Like November 21st, Sunday night, right before Thanksgiving. You got Black Friday this week. Everything's going to be crazy. I went out to a store today to buy a Christmas tree. My wife's been trying to get this Christmas tree. So I went out there to get it, and like I walk in, and the line was like zigzag all the way to the back. So I'm glad I didn't find the tree. It legit wasn't there, and I was like, man, that's gonna stink that I'm gonna have to like sit in this line, like, and it wasn't even there. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna walk out of this. So I walked out unscathed. I imagine I do have to go back at some point this week to try to locate this particular tree. Maybe it won't be
especially
as
if the wife wants it.
Maybe it
if
won't
the
be
wife wants it, she's got to get it.
She's gotta have it, bro.
She's got to have it. I understand how that could be.
So crazy week this week, obviously. Let's talk. Let's get into cutting it up with Chucky, man.
All right, cutting up with Chucky. All right, so this episode is called Cape Queer. And the reason why it's called Cape Queer is because they make a few references to the movie Cape Fear.
Yeah.
So we have Chucky. We know that he can split himself up.
Yeah.
We know that he's in Nika. We know that he's in multiple dolls. And now we see Andy and his stepsister,
bounty hunter,
like
bro.
Pulp Fiction style, like, just so cool.
Bounty
and they go to a house saying that they're, what it was, FBI agents or something like that. I forget what they said exactly, but they get into the house.
Oh, they're pretending to be the census people,
Okay, that's what it was, the census people. They were getting the kids involved, and that's why they got the Chucky.
And
it was kind of slick.
It's funny because last year I had a lady knocking at my door for the census. I had to sit there and talk to her for like 20 minutes, man. So
forget that.
So I get it. I wouldn't invite her in. Like I talked to her on my porch. So
no, it was crazy, man. But so that Chucky with the weird hand, that was one of the Chuckies from Cult of Chucky.
Mm-hmm.
So that was kind of cool. So that was like, they kind of closed that book. So that, I think that was like one of the original Chuckies is what it was. So, I mean, we'll see how that pans out or whatever. I don't know, like if one's more powerful than the other or how they're going to do it.
And I thought it was going to be a lot more difficult for that to happen because Andy was like, just get right into it. He knew they had it. He's like, just go get it. Just go get this dang thing.
Very impatient. He was ready to go.
He knew it. So.
Yeah, he knew that they had it, and they did, and they blew that Chucky doll away. Yes.
They shot him, like they emptied clips into this guy.
Yeah, that was pretty crazy. Then we get to see Fiona Dorfin be her father, which was kind of cool, and they were buying the car, so that was pretty neat. The $1,000 car,
$1,000 red car.
Yeah, and they didn't feel like paying for it, so they killed the guy.
They're just doing it in broad daylight, man. They don't even care. Like
they don't care anymore.
She's ruthless. Like the chick's ruthless. He's ruthless. It's just broad daylight. That's just their thing that they want to do, man.
Yeah, it's like almost like a Bonnie and Clyde, natural born killers type, relationship that they have. Just like, killer couples,
I see a big Bonnie and Clyde thing. They're gonna jump in the car, they're gonna cruise around and kill a bunch of people, and just kind of live their life, man. Like no one's chasing them.
That's right. Well, I mean, we get to see a little bit more about Jennifer Tilly, and she's kind of going a little crazy. Now we know that she knows that Nika is switching back and forth.
Dude, that was like my favorite part of this episode was like, I stabbed you in the leg like 10 minutes ago.
Oh my God. That was so cool, man. So cool. It just goes to show like how badass Tiffany is.
Yeah.
Like
you can't sleep crazy. On her. You know what I'm saying? Like she's
and then they hit to the frying pan.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, that was nuts, man. It was cool.
That was my favorite definitely part. Cool. And she was just like, oh
man. Well, I like that they keep like, referencing other movies and different things that I guess like they like.
Mm-hmm.
So the whole Cape Fear thing was kind of cool. That's one of my favorite movies for sure. Robert De Niro kills it in that.
Mhm.
And they show the main thing with the traps, when Nick Nolte set the traps in is it Nick Nolte? I think it was Nick Nolte, yeah. When he sets the traps at the house or whatever. So they kind of like did something like that. And they had the doll, tied up, and it was kind of cool because it was like Chucky's a doll, and
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
it's a doll. So
And the
like
whole
that was
time
kind of
I'm
neat.
thinking, like the mom's gonna come home and think they're doing like a bunch of weird stuff, like
Yeah, but instead the mom gets killed. Oh my God.
this was a
Junior's mom. Woo.
yeah,
That was
Junior's mom
nuts.
first.
I mean, we knew that she was gonna die,
Yeah,
unfortunately. She had some severe cancer or
yeah.
whatever. So
Like a
like,
very aggressive one. Like she didn't even know how to
yeah,
tell her family that she doesn't have
exactly.
that long to live, So
Exactly. So, like for Chucky to kill her, I mean, it was still pretty crazy though, the way that he did it. And now that they think that she killed herself,
yeah.
I mean,
Which
Jake knows,
yeah. I was gonna say it was clear to
but
him. It
Junior
was
wants
just
nothing to do with him. He wants nothing to
yeah.
do with him, man. All that kid does is bring death around,
Dude, it was
you
so
know?
crazy when she went out the window. I was like, "Oh my god, he's gonna be right down there. He's gonna be right down there."
Yeah.
And it was like I didn't even think she was gonna land on the car. I thought she was gonna land like next to the car. Like he's just gonna see it and like look
Well,
over.
I think it's gonna be like a whole Andy setup type thing to where like they're gonna make Jake like Andy, and he's gonna go into the foster system. Maybe Andy and the stepsister will adopt him
Yeah,
because they know about all this Chucky stuff. I mean, we really don't know how it's gonna be. I mean, we know that
I feel like
Jennifer Tilly.
it's picking up right now.
Oh, absolutely.
It's
Well, it's going to be
definitely
ending soon. It's going to be ending soon. The season's going to be ending soon. But I mean, remember that charter graph or whatever I sent you last week?
mhm.
It had like all the number one shows, and Chucky was like right at number two.
Yeah, number two,
So right
bro.
under Squid Games for the number one like premiered watch show. Like,
Yeah,
and
and
that's pretty
and
awesome.
Squid Games is just phenomenal. So it's just like
Yeah.
for Chucky to
And
be
we're
number
getting a Squid
two.
Games too, so we're definitely gonna get a Chucky season 2 for
Oh,
sure.
for sure, for sure.
We don't know how it's gonna end, but I know it's gonna be crazy. Then there's so many adults dying. Now the police chief died, right?
Yeah,
He died. She
yeah.
fell down the stairs.
And
So
the
I
kids
mean,
know, obviously, and they're not going to tell anybody because they'll be
exactly.
institutionalized or whatever,
Exactly.
So it is going to look like an accident on that part. So Chucky's going to continue to do what he's doing, but then
Sure.
Andy's going to meet up with them in this next episode, I would imagine.
Yeah,
So
but I mean, what's gonna happen to these kids? Like what's gonna happen to these kids, man? Like their adults are basically all dying.
yeah.
I mean, now Devin's
So is the
he's
dad next? Do you think the dad's next?
I
He's the only
think
one
the
left,
dad is
right?
gonna be next. I think he's gonna be next. I really do. Because I mean, he's the only one really left other than Lexi's parents.
Yeah. Which I think the mom's
So
gonna get it for sure.
yeah.
I think so.
Yeah. I mean, she's pretty bad.
Yeah.
Usually like those evil kind of people die in
Oh,
this,
I think
but
she's gonna get it. The episodes are running low, and the bodies are running low as well. So
yeah.
uh,
There's like almost no adults left, man. Like all these kids are gonna be orphans. Like it's
orphans, bro.
crazy. It's crazy. And I wonder how they're gonna play that out, Like are they gonna continue it with the kids? Is he gonna kill the kids? I mean, like
Yeah.
what's gonna happen? We don't know. I don't think anybody's really safe.
No, I don't think so either. I think at the end of this, Chucky's gonna obviously get away or something. I think it's funny that they're all like about to meet up in New Jersey.
I would be cool they were filming in New Jersey.
You know,
Yeah.
so they're all about to meet up, and it's just gonna, they like the kids don't have anybody to talk to. So once like Andy and his sister come into play, they're gonna be able to like talk to him about it and come up with a plan of how to like take him out because he said it was like the only doll left. So obviously he's
Yeah.
referring to Tiff and the other Chucky.
Yeah.
So and
Nika Chucky.
he's gonna he obviously didn't tell her that they're gonna have to like kill somebody.
Yeah.
So does she draw the line at that? Does
I don't
does
know.
Chucky switch himself to the chick before they do it?
I don't know, man. It's possible.
Is it getting to the point to where is it him letting her come through, or is it just naturally happening to where like he's got to maybe get into like a different body or something possibly?
I mean, I don't know. I mean,
I don't know.
they're changing the rules up kind of a little bit as they go. And I mean, he used to always be the amulet. Now he has all the power. So like, I don't know. Plus, it used to take him a while to be able
I love his
to.
little book that he had, the
Uh,
Ultimate Guide to Voodoo.
yeah,
And
yeah,
he's like,
yeah.
oh, just, just a little hobby.
Sure. Well, they showed that with Tiffany in in the Bride of Chucky.
Oh, is she
She
reading
has
it?
she has the Voodoo for Dummies book.
Voodoo for Dummies. That's awesome, man. I
Hmm.
imagine there is Voodoos for
Oh, I'm sure there is,
Dummies too.
especially after that one. But I mean, I think we have at least one or two more episodes in the bank.
Yeah.
But I mean, Chucky is totally cutting it up,
Oh,
and
he's just
we're
going
loving it.
nuts, man. He's just,
We're loving it. I see they're doing a lot of things on like TikTok,
Mhm.
and they have I guess the kids like trying to get people to duet, like, we want to hear your best Chucky laugh, like,
I'd
or
be
like
terrible at
read
it.
these lines. Yeah, no, Chucky has a very unique laugh. There's not a lot of people I feel like that can do that
Mhm.
impression, like maybe they could talk like him,
Yeah, for
but
sure.
the laugh is pretty unique, but yeah, man, I guess we're gonna have to find out, send watch. So, Chucky is on what,
Tuesdays,
Tuesdays at 10 on
USA and
USA and Sci-Fi.
Sci-Fi. Yeah, I did
So
what you did actually. I downloaded the USA app and you can just watch it
yeah,
on there. So
it's pretty cool. Hopefully, it's kind of new, you could tell.
yeah,
So hopefully they do a little bit more with it, because people are going to be downloaded, especially if Chucky's going to get a season 2.
if they're
I
gonna get a
mean,
season 2, they're definitely gonna get the same crowd back to watch it. They might pick up some more because they're gonna obviously announce it in the trailers that
sure.
it's like number 2 show, or
Yeah,
however
yeah. I
many
mean,
views, or
it's been great.
you
It's
know
been great so far. I think it's really cool that we can add that to the Chucky collection.
yeah, for sure.
And I feel like, sky's the limit. Who knows?
Well,
I
I
mean,
feel
they
like
could.
between now and the next season that comes out, they'll probably already greenlight a couple more
Sure.
like horror style shows like this, because it's like stupid not to. I
Yeah,
know
it
the
is.
MTV did the Scream thing. I didn't watch
Yeah.
it because it was very MTV-ish. My wife watched it, and she liked it, man. She watched, I think there's a couple seasons, and she watched them.
Yeah,
Um,
no, I mean, I watched the Teen Wolf one. I watched
mhm.
the first season of that, but that was really it as
See,
far
they
as
didn't
like the
cater to
MTV.
like the horror fans, like
Sure,
Chucky is catering, for sure.
absolutely,
To all the horror
absolutely.
fans,
Heads
to
on a
all
silver
the
platter.
to all the vintage people who like the 80s movies and stuff like that,
Yeah,
it is like right up these people alley. They're not even
yeah.
going for like a popularity contest. They're just
And what's cool too is they could even, I mean, like, if it is this popular, they could even make a movie
yeah.
and continue on with these characters, and then bring it back to a series now again for the next,
Yeah, I feel
like,
like they like these series though, because it is kind of like a movie and they just split it up and it's a lot easier for them.
sure, sure. Well, each episode is like a mini movie. I
Yeah.
mean, each episode has at least one kill.
Yeah.
I mean, we get
At the
a
end of it,
decent
we're
amount
gonna
of
get
Chucky
like
time.
8 hours, of Chucky at least.
Yeah. Well, when it's all said and done, I'll rewatch the whole series again as a whole, and like, just go through and watch it kind of like a movie. So that'll be kind of neat. Just
Yeah,
binge it.
there you go. I like it. I like it.
But all right, well, that was cutting up with Chucky. And now we're gonna talk about some Dexter with those
Yeah,
Dexter deep cuts.
yeah, deep cut Dexter. All right, so Dexter was awesome last week. Now, obviously, with this podcast, we don't do the one that was on today, so we'll be talking
Right.
about
We're an
two.
episode behind, but you know what? I mean, Dexter's still new.
Yeah.
So like,
And it came out earlier when I jumped on earlier today to watch it
yeah.
again. Like the new one was up, and I was like, oh.
Yes, I saw that too. They already have them up,
So
which
they're
is
already
pretty
popping
crazy.
them up.
Yeah, so that's pretty crazy. But this episode, it's episode 2. It's the best title. It's called Storm of Fuck. And that's mainly because of Deborah, of course, because as we said in the first episode, she was kind of tame.
She was laid back.
like,
she came out the second one, man.
yeah.
For sure.
This one, she was grabbing him up by the face and doing all kinds of crazy stuff and just cursing up a storm, which is, I guess that's why it was called Storm of Fuck.
She was laughing at him, making fun of him, like,
yeah,
so it was definitely a good rendition of
sure.
more of a natural Deb than a Deb in his head. because
Yeah, no, absolutely.
now the monkey's out of the bag. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
like now it's all full fledged, and there's a lot of things going on, and he's out of practice. So
yeah,
while he's trying to figure this all out and cover his tracks and all this, you got her right behind him, like making fun of him and
sure.
like like you're an idiot, bro. Like why would you even do this? Like so.
Yeah, no, it's pretty crazy. She was definitely mocking him a lot when he's trying to cover up this blood and cover up this crime scene the best way that he can in snow. I'm sure it's pretty difficult to do, but
Yeah,
it seems like
I
he
would
did
imagine.
pretty well. But
He was all driving and like hitting all the spots. Like the kid didn't see any of the blood trail. He was like,
yeah.
"Oh, what are you doing?" He's like, "Oh, watching out for rocks."
That was nuts.
You know,
Yeah, no, I
Dexter's
mean,
like the worst liar ever, and
yeah,
like
he's not the best at that. No,
you
because
know.
he's not good at human emotions. So that's really, that kind of ties in with lying.
But
You got
it's
to be able
funny
to
though
read
because
people.
like all throughout like the original series, he just same thing with Deb. Like Deb doesn't find out until later, and he just like lies to her the entire time, and they just eat
Yeah,
it up. They just
yeah.
like same thing
No,
with
that's right.
Rita. Like he was
Yeah.
like, "Oh, I'm a drug addict," and like you,
Sure. Well, she dealt with that before, so it was familiar territory. So, like, I think he was just strategic with that.
yeah,
But
it was like a quick
uh,
go to.
it was definitely a quick go-to. But I mean, you see all these cops are camping out on Dexter's land, and we see that the investigation is coming up short, and they're following his narrative. So his narrative is he killed this deer on indigenous land,
And ran
and
away.
he ran away
Yep.
because he was scared to get the charges. But then we see Harrison, and we get to see a little bit into what Harrison's been going on. We get to see him, be Dexter, but not awkward.
Well, he also
You
talks. He
know,
also
like
catches Dexter up too with her Hannah dying, from cancer, and the
sure,
letter that he found prematurely, obviously, and he's asking
yeah,
about these dark tendencies and stuff like that, and
sure. That was pretty sad. Yeah,
and it's crazy because my thought process was a go to was well, obviously your mom died and you were sitting there, so we want to make sure
yeah,
you didn't have any dark tendencies. I don't know why they didn't go that route. That would have been the simple,
yeah,
you know.
sure, absolutely. But I mean, we also don't know if Harrison's telling the truth. So we know how he found him now. We know he found him through Instagram from
Yeah,
a picture because Dexter bowled a perfect game,
yeah,
a
perfect.
300 score. So I got to talk about that for a second. So my wife Annie, she's so funny with this stuff. So professional athletes get paid a lot of money. In my opinion, a lot more than some of them are worth. And she has a big gripe with bowling. Okay,
All right.
and her thing is like, there's nobody defending, there's nobody distracting. It's the same exact thing all the time. You have the same scenario. You're wearing the same shoes. You got the same ball. It's the
Everything.
same lane everywhere,
Every time.
regulation size. So if you are a fucking professional, you should be knocking them out every
10 out
time.
of 10.
Every time. Perfect game every time.
10 out of 10.
It's so funny. But I think
Now,
that was crazy to take how they caught him.
now if she looks into it, a lot of these tournament winners and stuff, they're like one strike away. You know what I'm saying?
Sure,
One or two
sure,
strikes away. They clean it up
sure.
with
I told her that.
spares.
She's like, nope. She's
Yeah.
like, it's not
They're
acceptable.
like
You're a professional. You got to hit
yeah,
it every time.
278, 289s and stuff,
Yeah.
and they're always up there,
Sure.
so 300s
Yeah, they
are,
always just get that one like spare. That's it. And they're like, they could have got that extra
hey
point.
man, I got in a
Yeah.
300 once in we bowling.
We bowling,
We
nice.
bowling, and I was never able to do it again,
Yeah.
so
It's all about the flow.
it's
I
all
don't
about
know.
the
I don't
flow.
know. But there's no professional Wii bowlers, I don't think so.
There should have been, because I would have been on a team at my prime, my height, my
Oh my
glory.
god. It's so funny.
So, but also too, you get to see so whoever's taking the girls, I think it's the dad.
Yeah, we think it's
I
Clancy
think it's the
Brown.
dad.
I mean, it makes
Because
sense.
it makes sense. And then she was also the cop lady was like, we tried to call you for hours and couldn't get
Yeah.
a hold of you. And now he kind of shows up.
And then we see that other scene of somebody watching this girl, but like we got to see like his eye and his eyebrows. So we're like,
Yeah, it
that's
kind of
Clancy
looked
Brown.
like him,
That's Clancy Brown.
Yeah. Especially like my second time watching it around, I was like, really paying attention at that point. I
Yeah.
was like, that's totally him. And then, like I said, she couldn't get a hold of him, and he just comes out of the
Yeah.
woodwork, and he's like a Dexter. He's very
He's all riled up too.
he's very entwined with the community. You know, he gave his little speech on what all the stuff that he does, and he
Yeah.
obviously knows Dexter. He knows the cop lady. He knows everybody's name. You know,
Yeah.
on a
And
first
everybody
name
knows
basis.
him. Yeah.
You know, he called him Jim. You know, it wasn't like,
Yeah.
you know. So I think it's him. Obviously, that's you know,
Yeah.
grabbing a girl
For sure.
And if the town's named after him, I feel it goes back further because that the daughter was wearing the shirt that's like missing in indigenous girls or something like that.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
So I'm thinking it goes back further. Like he's obviously been doing it a while. Maybe it's a family thing. Maybe that's why his kids all like.
Well, yeah,
screwed
maybe
up.
because you know, the kid he knows. That's why
And
he
the
was
kid
like, you
even
know,
said
you'll be
like
sorry.
you'll be sorry. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
it kind of adds up to where maybe the kid knew about it as well. Maybe it's a family thing. You know.
Ooh, that's crazy. Well, then you know he's gonna come after Harrison. You know that's gonna be
And then
you know that's gonna be the theme this
yeah.
season. You know, how many episodes do you think is gonna take for Harrison to figure out that Dexter is a killer, or that Dexter has to tell him that he was a killer? Like, do you think it's gonna? Think we're gonna get like 2 more? Because I feel like they're like unpacking so much in like every episode.
I think he's gonna see him do it.
Ooh.
And I think he's gonna see him do it, and it's gonna kind of click. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So I don't know like what Hannah's told him. Maybe Hannah kind of beat around the bush as well. Maybe a lot of things will click like once he realizes that, or
maybe, or maybe she taught him the code and he doesn't.
Well, he
see
knows
anything.
that he was a cop.
Maybe he doesn't
or he
see
thought he was a
anything
cop.
wrong with killing.
Yeah, he thought he was a cop. You know, Harrison's obviously made a comment of like, "Oh, this stuff's pretty cool." You know.
Yeah, for sure. And we've seen him break into that camp.
You know, so he's definitely got some secrets and stuff like that among himself.
Yeah,
you know,
we saw the kids like rifling through his bag, trying to find out about him or whatever, and you know, they see a couple little glimpses of some stuff, and that's really it. You know, and I mean, we'll see what unfolds with that. I mean, I think he's definitely gonna fight one of those kids or something for sure,
dude. And like a really cool part of this episode, and it was really funny, was when he unlocked the door and the chick was like, "Oh, my mom's gonna hate you." You know?
Oh
he's in, bro. Like, oh, that was like the smoothest thing ever, bro.
Hell yeah.
Like
Casanova.
Go you, man. Like that was slick. Like get that bad boy.
That's right.
So, and it's crazy because he started to open up to, or Dexter pretty much told him like, "Ask me anything," you know.
Yeah.
And he was like, you know, why'd you leave? You know, like that was his number one, you know, thing.
Sure. Just like any kid would want to know.
Just like any kid, and obviously Dexter said what he said, blamed it on everybody to fuck else or himself or whatever, you know. And you know, I think the kid is he's gonna stick around because he knows that wasn't what he was trying to get. There's a lot that he needs to understand.
There's way more.
And maybe issues with him. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe he doesn't know. I don't know. It's weird though because he was out messing with the goat and like being super friendly with the goat. And usually, like if you're gonna be like a serial killer at a young age, you're like not really keen with animals. But
well, it depends.
He might be the new enhanced version.
That's what I'm saying. He might have got taught at a young age because how old was he when he left?
He was like 7. Yeah, he was like 7.
So she could have, you know, reversed a lot of that stuff, you know, and killing is good and this is okay. And, you know, like who knows? We don't know. Yeah. Hannah was a killer too. So that's all we know.
Too, and she killed people that stood in her way or people that tried to discover her for who she was.
So maybe he got taught her way. You know, so we really don't know. You know, maybe she taught him both.
It'd be cool if like he just knows like how to make poisons and stuff like that. Like,
yeah, that'd be pretty crazy.
Because Hannah was like a plant lady, you know. So I imagine she passed a little bit of that down to him. You know,
she had to have for sure,
especially in Argentina and stuff like that.
Yeah. But no, it was definitely really, really cool, man. I mean, I'm excited to see how they're gonna do it. Sure.
Do you think that the girl that is captured is in the same hotel, or do you think he moved her to a new hotel? Because the cop lady told her to go to that hotel. Okay, she was like, go down the road and here's some money and get a room at the hotel. But then she's in this hotel and there's no things on the doors, you know? And he gave her the strawberries and the champagne to make her pass out. Does he have like a mock one somewhere that he brings him to? Because he can't keep doing it in the
I
same
don't know,
motel
man.
unless he's
Maybe it's like a separate room in the hotel, something that we don't know that's like tucked away. I mean, I don't know. I don't think he moved her,
you don't think he
but I
moved
mean,
her?
I don't
Because he
think he
went in
did,
there and
but it's
got her
possible
phone. He went in there and got her phone because she was
for
looking for her
sure.
phone.
But he has plants in there too, and he has the cameras and stuff. So like
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I mean, like, it's really tough. They've only showed us like little tiny clips of that.
Yeah.
Like they're really trying to lay down the surface for Dexter, his relationship with the girl, and his new relationship with Harrison, and how they're gonna kind of like, iron like that
They'll
out.
squeeze the rival in,
Yeah,
like that's what they're gonna end up doing.
yeah. So I guess we're gonna have to just wait and see with that, man. But I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure, man. I mean, like I know Clancy Brown. He seemed very hot-headed, very crazy. Like you said, he seems very entitled. He knows everybody, so he feels like he's above the law. And if he's getting away with all this kind of stuff, and he really feels like he's above the law. So I
Yeah,
mean,
because he was like, oh, he wouldn't have worried about
we
like
don't
some
know. There could be
poaching
other people in on it
thing.
too. We have no idea. We have no idea.
Yeah.
So I mean, like I'm excited to see it. Dexter has been super crazy. I feel like it's easing us in, but it's like we're on edge.
What do you think? Who do you think Iris is? Do you think that was
I think Iris is
her
gonna
first
be
daughter
her first daughter, her
or
like
her
real
sister?
daughter. Ooh, I don't know. I didn't think that. I thought it was gonna be her daughter, but maybe that makes more sense to be her sister. You know,
Maybe.
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, like I said, like they're showing us what we need to see right now.
Well,
So I'm
listen,
guessing we're
she
gonna see
was
more.
very very accepting of Harrison. Like no
Yeah,
questions asked. I
super
get it,
fast. What a great
and
chick.
we could parent together, type stuff. And it was like, okay, that's like, like you didn't tell me you had like a 17-year or 16-year-old kid,
Yeah,
like just chilling in
it's
Argentina.
crazy.
It's kind of weird. you
Yeah, it
know.
seems like something you would bring up, but I mean, hey, we don't, like we said, we don't know. We don't know all these things, like she has some secrets too.
She's got
So
secrets.
I guess we're gonna find everybody's got
Harrison's got
secrets in this little
secrets.
town.
Dexter's got
Yeah.
secrets. You know,
So I guess we'll find out soon enough.
we'll
I mean,
find
we got the
out.
third episode
Yeah,
coming on tonight at showtime. So,
coming on today. Apparently, they posted it a
yes.
little early too. So I'll
Well,
probably end
that's
up
pretty
watching it
cool.
tomorrow, and I'll probably do the same thing this week. I'll probably watch it tomorrow and then watch it again either Saturday or Sunday.
Yeah,
It's good so far, man. I'm digging it. It's
absolutely.
got a good Dexter feel. It's new Dexter, man. You can't
Yeah.
go wrong. You
You
know.
can't go wrong. I mean, it's an going old school way. We're getting an episode each week. We'll probably have a break for the holiday and stuff like that. So it'll probably continue on, past, I'll just say
And I
probably to
wonder when it's
January.
gonna get into the point of where he just because there's no way that he's just gonna kill one person like this entire
Oh, yeah. No.
season. So
He's
like
going to cover his tracks. He's going to be
so
killing people to cover his
he's
tracks.
got to like flip over. See, and now my thing is now that I'm thinking about it. So you got all these missing girls for a long time. Maybe it's not just the one guy. Maybe there's a couple of them because Dexter's always went up against a one person entity. He's never went up like a multiple person entities, to where
It's
it's like a
true.
group of people, and then it would give him a group of people to go through and
Yeah.
get them all one by one and stuff like that. When he discovers what they're doing or what they're doing to the girls.
Yeah. What if
Actually
half the
no, the
town's in
Jordan
on it? Who knows?
Jordan Chase thing was kind of like. But he got all those other guys real quick. It
Yeah.
was
The
pretty
Barrel
much
Girls. Yeah.
It was just pretty much him and Jordan like most of the time. So
Yeah. Yeah.
um,
Him and Hannah got them all pretty quickly.
yeah, or Julia Stiles at the time. I forget her.
Oh, that's right. It's
Lumen.
not Hannah. That's right. Lumen.
So yeah, they went through the crew pretty quick, and it was just the other guys didn't really matter. He wanted Jordan, and Jordan had the
That's right.
story, and it was just that was his like enemy at the time. But it'd be kind of like I said, it'd be really cool for him to go up against like a group of people who are doing.
Oh, yeah.
Like
half the town. That'd be pretty
like
neat.
half the town, and it's people he knows.
Yeah.
Like the butcher.
That'd be pretty cool. That'd be pretty cool.
The dumb cop.
Oh man.
You know.
Oh, that'd be cool. The guy at the store.
The guy at the store. Yeah, the guy at the store. You know,
Oh,
the
that'd be
dumb cop who
crazy.
can't fly the drone. You know, he's just like, oh my
Yeah, but we
god.
don't know what's his deal either, though. Too, he could have did that on purpose.
He could have did that
You
on
know,
purpose.
we don't know, but there's so much, and there's so much left to go with
They're
Dexter.
just
So
starting to get into it. So,
yeah,
and I'm
let's
thinking
pick up
they're
speed.
probably gonna do at least a 10 episode, between 10
Yeah,
and
I would think
15
so. I would think so, and
episodes.
hopefully, it picks up traction and we get a little bit more because that'd be cool to get a couple more seasons of Dexter. I mean, I'm happy with just the one. I'm not gonna.
Sure.
But
Or if they do
it'd be
get
cool.
Harrison involved, and he
Oh
starts
yeah,
doing it, it'd be really cool to do a show
then
called
we get like
Harrison.
new, yeah.
And it's all
Uh,
about him kind of going through,
oh, that would be pretty neat too.
his
Yeah,
ordeal. So
I don't know. I guess we'll find out. But all right, that was Dexter Deep Cuts.
Cuts.
All right, what we got next on the list?
All right, so let's knock this out of the let's get this out of the way. So this week we had obviously everybody's talking about it. It's like the biggest thing this week is obviously the Kyle Rittenhouse verdict.
Cow.
Yeah. All right. They waited again till Friday to do it. It was like crazy, like for them to do 3 days or 4 days, and then do the verdict.
Yeah.
And everybody's split on it. You have everybody said that he shouldn't
Sure.
have done it, and then there's everybody who said that you should do it.
Right.
I feel. All right, so the kid was 17 when it happened. Like for him to go to jail for life, like they weren't seeking the death penalty. They just wanted to
Right.
throw him in there for life.
Yeah.
And
Like an example.
all three instances, these people were attacking him. Like clearly, like they have video of the whole thing. Like there's, and then the other side of the argument is like, and it's funny because you could tell who paid attention to it and who didn't. Because
Sure.
the people who didn't pay attention to it, the first thing they say is like, oh, well, he went over state lines. The gun was never in Illinois. It was always in Wisconsin. So the first time someone says that to you, they didn't watch it. So, he's legally allowed to have it where he was. And it's just like, now it comes into question of like, okay, was he in the right to shoot people?
Yeah.
So the first guy was the Rosenbaum guy. This is the worst part of the video, okay? Because they don't have super up close of this one. They have an aerial shot of it.
Right.
But you do see the guy running at him, and then you have witnesses saying that he was saying, F you, I'm going to kill you when I see you later, and blah, blah, blah. And he apparently went to go reach for the gun, and, Kyle shot him,
Right.
So after he shot him, Kyle. So after he shot him, he ran because the cops were you could see the cops where he was, like it was a couple blocks down. So he started running down, and all these people started chasing him because he just shot somebody.
Yeah.
So you had guy number 2 who's chasing him down the road. Okay, so guy number 2 is the guy who actually survived. So there was 3 that were shot, 2 died, 1 survived. Okay, so this guy, the one that survived, they have video of everything, every angle that you can ever imagine.
Oh wow.
Okay, so this guy had a loaded gun, a loaded pistol in his pants. Okay, they have video of him running and taking it out of his pants. Okay, and at the time he didn't have a valid permit to conceal a firearm. So right then and there, he should go to jail.
Yeah.
he's breaking the law, like a gun law. By concealing a pistol in his pants, and he doesn't have the permit to do so. So anyway, that's his thing. So he's in the process of suing the town police for letting the whole thing happen because he survived.
Sure.
He got shot in the arm, so he's looking for some money.
Everybody's looking for some money.
Everybody's looking for some money, and they asked him on the stand. They're like, "Hey, so if Kyle ends up getting guilty and going to jail, do you benefit from that? Will you get paid, or would you have an easier time getting that money?" And sure enough, he's like, "Yes, I would." So, of course, this guy wants him to go to jail.
Yeah,
and then
it's all about
and then
money.
they have a picture, right? So they have video of this. So they actually got the actual still shot of the guy holding the gun at Kyle as Kyle's blasting his arm into an oblivion. Okay, and so You can't even make it
It
up.
was crazy.
And then
It's
they asked
crazy.
the guy, like, did you point the gun at him before he shot you? And he's like, yes, I pointed the gun at him before he shot me. Okay. And then the whole time they're asking this guy, because he chased Kyle. He chased him, okay? But he wouldn't say the words, I chased him. And he's like, no, I didn't chase him. They're like, okay, well, you were running behind him, right? And he's like, yeah, I was running behind him. And I was like, okay, so you were running behind him and you were gaining in speed to catch up to him, right? He's like, yeah. He's like, so you were chasing him? No, I wasn't chasing him.
Oh.
Like they did that like 5 times. Like they led him up to it. They're like, all right, so you were chasing him, right? No, I wasn't chasing him. So like obviously he had key words that he couldn't say.
Sure.
About
he was prepped.
He was prepped. And then the third guy who died was shot, I think like in the torso. He was the guy that came and hit Kyle in the face with a skateboard twice before Kyle shot him in the chest.
Skateboard to the face.
Yeah, while Kyle's on the ground, he's getting hit by a skateboard. I don't know if you ever got hit with a skateboard or played with a skateboard. They're wood and metal, you know, that you can kill somebody if you hit somebody with a skateboard. There's actually
Absolutely.
movies of them beating the crap out of people with skateboards and them dying. So, you know, tons of them. So the guy hits him twice. So he shoots him, and then there's another guy who like jumps out of the picture and like kicks him in the face. So he was getting like attacked from all different directions. And you know, the 3 people that he shot were people that were literally going after him or like within like feet of him, inches of him, you know, to hurt him or to do something like that. So I'm kind of on his side with this, you know. Now, if there wasn't all that video and it was all hearsay,
Sure.
you know, who knows? But they have video of everything. You can watch the whole thing. You can watch from beginning to end. There's what'd they say? It was 2 minutes and 55 seconds from the time that it happened until the time that it stopped. And they have it all. They have HD drone footage of it, bro. Like they really do. It's crazy.
That's crazy.
You know, and it's funny too, because the guy who survived, who's looking for $10 million, right? So after this all happened, okay, obviously you get shot, you go to the hospital, you get fixed up. What do? You talk to the police, right? So he did an interview with the police, okay? Now, obviously, with this big thing going on, you do more than one interview with the police, okay? They're going to get you a month later to see if your story changes. There's a big court case of brewing, so they interviewed him a month later. So the 2 times that he got interviewed from the police, he failed to mention he even had a gun. He just told them that he was running and Kyle shot him. Completely failed to mention that he had a loaded pistol that he concealed and then brought out and chased the guy down the road and aimed it at him and then wasn't quick with the draw. You know, Kyle's like, quick draw McGraw. He's on the ground too. It's like crazy. So crazy week.
Yeah. So it's been pretty crazy.
And the crazy part too is like, so obviously the internet's going to do what the internet does. Okay. So there was a big thing and everybody, if you look at all the protesters that are protesting on the courthouse and all this, they all have these signs that says Kyle's racist. He's a white supremacist and this, that, and the other.
Yeah. I did see a bunch of that.
All 4 of them dudes were white. There wasn't a black dude involved at all. Like at all. None of them.
Yeah.
The 2 guys that were killed, the guy that was shot, and Kyle are all 4 white guys. So why is he a racist white supremacist?
I don't know how that makes us racist.
I
That's crazy.
Don't know how that works. You know, now I can understand the argument if one of the dudes was black and you could just say that argument like, oh, he just shot him because he's fucking black, and you could say it, you know. But obviously not the case in this. They're all white dudes. Not the case at all. And then icing on the cake. Best thing about this. So I followed this case like from the beginning to the end. Okay. When I worked, I had it up in the corner of my screen. I was just like, you know, it's just interesting because I didn't know anything about it, and I only read like what like, you know, the headlines were and stuff like that. I didn't know like they literally had the whole thing on tape, like probably 12 different accounts of it. Like all different directions and they have it all, dude.
That's crazy, man.
Icing on the cake. So you got all these people that are against the verdict, and they're like, you know, these people were shot, and you know, Kyle's a terrible person, blah blah blah. And then so the whole court thing, they weren't allowed to tell you who these 3 dudes were. Okay.
Right.
So they weren't allowed to tell you, like, oh, well, he's been to jail before for this, because it has nothing to do with anything. It's,
Right.
understandably, it has nothing to do with anything. Um, but then when they release all the information after the verdict and say, okay, well, the Rosenbaum, the first guy, okay, he was like a convicted pedophile with like multiple accounts, dude, like multiple accounts of like molesting and all kinds of shit with little boys, dude, like a bunch of them. Okay, the guy who survived, he had a DUI, which is dumb, but he's also been in jail for like burglary and shit like that.
Okay.
And then the other guy who died, he had some stuff. I guess he had stuff for like spousal abuse or beating a chick or something like that. So
Sure.
it's like these dudes were out there. They were out there to fuck shit up. They were out there to
Sure.
loot and to do all this crap. You know what I'm saying? And then it's just, you're gonna stick up for these guys. Like, what are you gonna build a monument for this dude who's been in jail for 12 years for like doing boys? Like, it's fucked up, dude. That's fucked up.
Yeah.
That's fucked up.
It's fucked up.
Like,
It's crazy, man.
So
it's been a crazy week for sure.
That's my rant about it. This is from someone who literally watched the whole almost 3 weeks of it, and just I paid attention to it, because I didn't know too much about it, and there was a lot of stuff that they said in the court that I was just like, I didn't know that. Like, they didn't fucking say that shit. There was a lot of shit that they omitted from the court as well. The guy who jumped up and kicked them in the face, they didn't have him as a witness because it would have, it would have built this mob mentality. Like, it was a mob, it was a riot, it was shit going crazy. And like everybody who talked about Kyle was like, dude, Kyle was there like helping people. He was giving people masks and first aid. He was pulling out dumpsters from the middle of the road because they were trying to block the cops. He was putting out fires. He was there all day, like scrubbing graffiti. They have pictures and video of all this. And you're gonna tell me this pedophile motherfucker that's like, and it's a white dude screaming the N-word a bunch of times. They have it on tape. They have it on video. You can watch it. And he's screaming the N-word 100 times at this guy. And this is the guy that these people are sticking up for and saying like, oh, well, Kyle shouldn't have been there. Nah, this motherfucker shouldn't have been there. He should still be in jail fucking with little kids and shit, man. Like, dude, don't even get me started on that rant.
I see.
It's just wrong. You know what I'm saying? Like,
no, it is. It is. It's pretty crazy.
So, but I'm glad the verdict came out the way it did. Kyle's not going to spend the rest of his life in jail because, optics and a politicalness to it. There was a huge politicalness to it. He's going to sue the crap out of a lot of people coming up. I don't know if you know who that Nick Sandman kid is, but he was on TV. He was wearing the red MAGA hat, and the Indian dude or Native American guy was in front of him with the drum, and nothing really happened, but the news blew it out of proportion and said like, this kid's like crazy and he's, blah, blah, blah with Native Americans. And then they released the actual video and the kid's just sitting there. He doesn't do anything. So he sued like CNN and all these things. He got like over $300 million from these people. Like over $300 million. The kid's like 18 years old, dude.
That's
19
insane.
years old. Because they can't do that, man. You can't go on your public network and like talk, like completely lie about the situation. Show 2 seconds of a clip and say it's something when it's not. It's not. You built the
check
story.
Those facts.
You got fact checked. You were wrong. You had to pay up. They're gonna have to do it again. They're gonna have to do it again. I'm seeing all the videos now of all these compilations of all these people calling him a murderer and a terrorist and all this, and these are all network shows.
Yeah, that's like a defamation of character.
Big network anchors like talking this stuff, man, and newspapers. Oh, they're gonna make a lot of money, man. He's gonna make Nick Sandman look like a peasant after this.
Oh my god.
Well, good for him. All right. On to your favorite topic.
Yes, Tigerking. Tigerking season 2. All right, so I mean, I don't know if I would even call this a season, man. It was only 5 episodes.
It's only 5 episodes, yeah.
I mean, like there was a lot to take.
It was very documentary, more so style, like crime documentary style.
Yeah, the first one was more like a documentary. This one more played out like a true crime show.
The first one was an origin story.
Yeah, I guess
we didn't know the characters. We didn't know the characters. Now we know the
We didn't know more his
characters.
powers. Now we know his powers. Yeah, no, it's pretty crazy. So this one dives a little bit more into, the trial,
Yeah.
everything that Joe's in for. I mean, Joe's in for, they said 22 years. He's already
Yeah,
served
it's like
almost 3.
18 counts of animal cruelty, and that's got to do with the tigers that I
Right.
believe he shot and buried and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then they have the murder for hire charges, which is what they actually got him in jail for. Like the animal stuff, he would have gotten a couple years, but not like a 22 years sentence.
Sure.
Like Mike
I
Vick got
mean,
trouble for
it's
fighting dogs. He got
crazy.
a year.
Yeah, it's crazy because, like, I mean, I don't know. I'm not an animal activist, or anything like that. And, I'm not going to go into all that craziness, but I just feel like, if something's yours, you own it. Like, you got to do something. You got to do something. I mean, like, things happen in zoos all the time. What if the cat got so sick and it was like viably, not, like it was too expensive to be able to save it.
And he's gonna
So
make
what do
that
they do? They
decision
put it
on his own,
right. And as like an owner of an animal, you would, put that animal to sleep. But I mean, like, you can't take Tiger to the vet.
Yeah.
So
Well, you know what? There's a
I don't know.
huge
There's a fine line though.
there's a huge disconnect though, because you got to figure the old school people, they grew up on Old Yeller. When your dog is sick and it gets rabies, you bring it out back and you shoot it.
Sure.
And people, that live that lifestyle. And I've met a lot of people out in the Midwest and stuff, and they're very old school like that, man. They're very much like animals are more so property, and they stick to that. And this is the prime example. Is this guy, the Tim, what's his last name, Stark or whatever?
Tim Stark, yeah,
Tim
like
Stark.
Tony Stark.
I met a guy like that once in the animal
Ooh.
industry, and they're just terrible people. They're terrible people. They don't.
Yeah, it seems like they're all the same too, man.
Yeah.
It's weird.
They don't think of animals as like, I'm gonna name it and pet it and give it an enriching life. They just think of it as like a lawnmower, or like
it's how it's gonna benefit
piece of furniture. Like, how can I put this to where somebody's gonna sit on it and pay me for it? So
yeah.
And it's terrible because the animals get it.
Yeah, the animals are the ones that suffer in
they're the ones who
and
suffer in the end. Like, you don't need to have 200 damn tigers. Like,
no.
It's just, as a citizen, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, and you don't have that much space. Now it's crazy because in the show they end up taking a bunch of his tigers. They end up taking a bunch of Jeff Lowe's tigers, and they actually put it in a nice facility. Did you see that facility that they were in? It was huge. It was like now it wasn't like something in Africa. It wasn't like something in Africa to where it's just like they just got miles and miles and miles. But it was like 10 times better than any situation that they've probably ever been in.
It's the first time they actually like got to run,
yeah, for sure. So,
which is crazy. And but all the things that we got to see in these episodes, I mean, like, I feel like each episode was like its own thing. The first one was like,
well, the first part
catching us up,
and then they went into Dawn, and then they spent a lot of time on Dawn. Because there's a lot of questions. There's still a lot.
Because we still don't know, because that's an ongoing investigation. I mean, like, everybody has an agenda.
Carol Baskin did it, bro.
Sure. I mean, that's the consensus, because I feel like the narrative has been painted that way for us to think that. Plus, it's convenient.
I don't know. Plus, look at her eyes, bro.
Sure. I mean, she may not be the nicest person, but that doesn't make her a killer. We don't know yet. I mean, like, of course I want to think it too, that she fed her husband to the cat. I mean, it just seems like more of a crazy story than this guy actually just went to Costa Rica.
They put a lot more questions on her wwhereabouts the night of as well. Like, she said that she went to like Albertsons, which was 4 miles,
get some tiger milk,
to go get tiger milk at 11 o'clock at night, and didn't come back until 3 o'clock in the morning. And then
her car broke down. And then her brother was the one to help her.
It was only 4 miles.
It definitely seemed a little thick. But I mean, hey. We like and
then the guns thing. She gave all the guns away to the dude like the day before, So I don't know, man. It's just there's too many questions. I think if she wasn't directly the one who did it, she knows what happened.
Yeah,
for sure. Yeah.
I mean, it's definitely very possible. But I mean, like, the other thing too is to see this guy Jeff Lowe, and how from the beginning of it,
jail, man. Like,
oh my God, the hitman. How is the hitman not in jail? That was That to me was just baffling.
He like
Right
admitted
there.
to taking money to go kill somebody.
Yeah.
Like, isn't that like a crime in itself?
But then the whole thing, like, I mean, it boils down to now all these guys who put Joe in jail are all changing their stories.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Every single one of them. And it's crazy. You get to see Jeff Lowe wanting to put, Joe Exotic's head on a stick to now he's throwing out the first pitch at a baseball game wearing a
Joe
free Joe
Exotic,
Exotic
yeah.
jersey.
And here's my little conspiracy theory about that.
Ooh.
So I felt, so when Tigerking 1 came out, these guys didn't know fame. They got famous like, real quick. Okay.
Yes.
Joe Exotic.
Because of Joe.
Because of Joe. Joe's their moneymaker, and he's sitting in the can right now, not doing
with those bangs, with those bangs,
bro. He's sitting in there with the bangs, looking for a husband. He ain't got nothing to do. And these guys they're dwindling. You know what I'm saying? Like they're obviously Tigerking 2 came out.
The fame is dwindling.
The fame is dwindling. This Tigerking 2 like isn't gonna give them like it did the first time around.
That's right.
They need to get onto Joe's side and get him out of jail so they can ride off of his fame some more, because then
and be part of this 3-ring circus.
So they can be part of the 3-ring circus. Because what's going to happen is Joe's going to get out. He's going to be on YouTube. He's going to be everywhere. And then these guys are going to make videos countering those. Like, F Joe this and do that. It's going to be like rap beef. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just to build the hype of it. And I feel like they've gotten to the point to where, Jeff Lowe's lost a bunch of tigers. The other dude, he ain't got no job. What is he doing now? He was working with Jeff Lowe, and now he's like ratting him out. So I imagine he's not working with him anymore.
Nope.
So these guys are about to probably start running out of some money or fame or whatnot.
Sure. I mean, it didn't seem like Jeff Lowe's liquidation business was doing so well.
The guy's still wearing the same shirt and the same jacket as the first fucking season. You know what I'm saying? Like, dude ain't got that much dough.
Oh my God!
Well, jacket,
it's crazy. It's crazy, but I mean, I feel like it was only 5 episodes because there's still more in the investigation, and it's still ongoing. And it's not just one thing anymore. It's not just Joe Exotic killed a bunch of animals and might have tried to kill somebody else. Now it's about Don. Now it's about Jeff Lowe. Now it's about Tim Stark. Like, it's just it's about all these different people, and like, what's gonna happen to them? Is Peter gonna come down? Is Peter gonna get Jeff Lowe? Is Peter gonna get
Peter's gonna get everybody? They got the money, so
yeah, they got the money for sure.
They're just gonna get everybody.
I don't know, man. I mean, Tigerking is gonna be, if he gets out, if Joe gets out, I mean, he's gonna be, a millionaire, of course. Obviously, we know that.
Oh, he's gonna have deals in the work for all kinds of shows and
all
stuff
these
like
deals,
that.
plus all this merch coming out with his face on it. I mean,
it's gonna be retarded.
It's like I got action figures of him. I saw an action figure for like $40.
$40. One of the
you know me,
ones?
you know me. I love action figures, but it was like one of those like 375 like Star Wars type size for $40 of Joe Exotic.
Ooh.
Yeah, one of them had like a little baby tiger with it.
Little baby tiger.
Little baby tiger. Yeah, but still, I couldn't do it. But they got hot sauce and cutouts and underwear and socks and like
all kinds of stuff.
It's crazy. They had like a cookbook, and I think they had like chilies and stuff. Like, I don't know what that has to do with Tigerking, but they're trying to put anything with his face on it.
And people are mailing him. He's getting probably thousands and thousands of letters a day. And they obviously they let him look for a husband online in jail. So I guess it's not too bad for him in there.
I guess not.
He wants to get out, obviously. The lawyer guy, sure. I feel he feels he can get him out.
That lawyer's crazy.
The lawyer's crazy.
Yeah, he's pretty nuts.
So, so it's funny to get the new face in there and him going from so I had no idea that they did that thing with the Dancing with the Stars.
Oh, I didn't know either.
All right, and I know that the family didn't like it, but I thought that was so ballin' to do. I was like, dude, that's like the best thing you could have done, because like everybody's watching because of that reason. And then this commercial comes up of like, we're looking for information on Don, and we're willing to give $100,000 to somebody who tells us. Like on her.
Meanwhile, his ex-wife is dancing. Yeah.
Meanwhile,
That was perfect, but it was funny that Joe was critiquing him, saying that it looked like he was holding them hostage or something like that.
Yeah.
That
It
was
did.
pretty
It
funny.
wasn't shot very well. It was like very monotone, and they might as well all wore black.
Yeah, it's crazy. It was crazy, man. But I do feel like we're gonna get some more Tiger King,
Oh, yeah.
maybe even next year. That fast, I feel, because I feel like they were still kind of filming this last year, so it's like we have a little bit of catching up to do. I feel so we'll get to see how that unfolds. But it was definitely a great watch. It's number 2 on Netflix right now, so check out Tiger King season 2 on Netflix. All right. So the other day, my friend Johnny called me up. He's like, "Hey, man, you want to go see the Ghostbusters movie?" I was like, "Hell yeah!" So we went to go see Ghostbusters on Thursday,
Nice.
and
What'd you think?
it was good, man. It was good. I liked it a lot. It was a little predictable, I would say, just a hair, but just enough to be just still fun and exciting. I mean, they had some new characters. The kids are cool. There's a lot of funny scenes with them, and I feel like the kids kind of emulated when we first met the Ghostbusters.
Okay.
Like the granddaughter being like the Egon, and I'm not gonna mention anybody else. I'm not trying to do any spoilers, but it was a fun ride.
Nice.
No Slimer. Sorry,
No
guys. That kind of
Slimer.
yeah, no Slimer. But they did have a new ghost. His name was Metal Muncher. I don't think that's really spoiling anything. But it was pretty cool. Very nostalgic.
No Rick
Definitely
Moranis.
no Rick Moranis. They did have Sigourney Weaver, but the one thing I will say is it's not a Marvel movie, but there's 2 cut scenes at the end, so you gotta wait all the way to the end. Credits go all the way through. Because I was ready to walk out, and then it came up, and we sat back down.
And it wasn't Slimer.
And it wasn't Slimer, it was Sigourney Weaver. So I'm not trying to. All right, I'll be quiet now. But
she announced a new Aliens movie.
Yeah, no, it was definitely great. It was cool. I mean, everybody knows that the original cast is in it, so
yeah.
It was cool to see them in it, and they got like definitely some tricks up their sleeve if you haven't heard anything about that yet. So that's kind of cool.
How'd the sexiest man alive of 2021 do, bro?
He did pretty good. I feel like I could have used a little bit more Paul Rudd.
A little more Paul Rudd.
Yeah, they kind of
what is he, like the silly uncle or something? Or?
No, he's like the summer school teacher.
Okay.
And who like doesn't really necessarily care about the summer school thing, but like he's very smart, intelligent, knows a lot. He's a seismologist.
Okay.
So, about earthquakes and stuff.
And he's the one stuck in summer school.
Yeah, he's the one who's stuck in summer school. Yeah. I thought I could have used a little more.
Not the regular math algebra teacher, but the seismologist.
Seismologist. Yeah, no, he was pretty funny. I felt like they could have used a little bit more. I feel like, to be honest with you, I feel like there were some scenes that were cut out because there was just so much movie. Because it was like over 2 hours. And I feel like they were like, yeah, we got to cut it down. We got to cut it down.
It cannot be a 3-hour Ghostbuster movie.
I feel like there was more scenes with Paul Rudd, but it was cool with what they did with him. And I felt like I said, once you see it, you'll see that like everybody has like their counterpart from the original cast to now.
Okay.
Everybody does. Like some people, I would say, are like a mixture of like more than one character, but like everybody kind of has a character. So that's pretty cool. Finn did a great job. He did pretty cool. I liked seeing him in the Ghostbusters outfit because it just reminded me of Stranger Things too, because they were dressed like the Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
So I like, that kind of like went full circle. So that was pretty cool.
He probably loved every second of doing that movie, bro.
I'm sure he did. And of course they let it up so there could be other ones with these characters. I mean, we kind of knew that was going to happen.
Obviously. Too. They're gonna be like the new face, I feel, of like the franchise.
Absolutely. So the movie was over. I'm walking out and I see this guy and his, I guess it was a son. I don't know. They were close. So he had 2 boxes and it looked like an action figure or something, or I couldn't tell what it was. So then when I went home, I was like, I'm going to look this up. I was like AMC Ghostbusters memorabilia because I was just curious to see what it was. What it was something really awesome. And I messed up, man, because I should have got it. It was like $30. And it was an Ecto 1 from the movie. The new one's like all like dusty and stuff. But it was a popcorn holder that like that, the thing lights up. It makes the noise. It's pretty cool. I would have loved it. My son would have loved it. So like the next day, I raced as soon as my son got out of school. We went over to the mall to try to go get that, and they were sold out.
Done.
So then I asked my brother-in-law Trevor. I was like, "Yo, man, going to movies anytime soon?" He was like, "Actually, I'm going to movies tonight. I'm gonna go see the new 007 movie."
Nice,
I was like, "Oh,
yeah.
perfect, man." I was like, "Yo, check your AMC. Let me know if they got it." And of course, they're sold out like pretty much everywhere. They're
That's
like
crazy.
$200 online now, like on eBay and stuff like that. So people are going crazy with it. So
Crazy.
I messed up on that. That would have been cool,
bro.
but
007 supposedly is like the number one movie of the year so far, money
yeah,
wise.
he said he really liked it. So
yeah.
I'm definitely looking forward to that. We're definitely
I'm gonna watch
check
it this
that
week.
out.
Yeah, for sure.
For sure. But it's something I did watch already this week. I started watching Cowboy Bebop. I'm only on episode 3.
I'm on episode 1. I didn't finish it. I'm like literally at the end, but like it's so good so far.
Yeah, very cool. I mean, like the cinematography is awesome. The costumes are great. I felt like the cast picks were cool. The music is like
awesome. The music and just the way it's
and
shot,
the scenery, everything like that. Like it's so like pretty looking almost. Like it's just like aesthetically
it's shot
looking
like
to
an
the
anime.
eye,
It's definitely shot like an anime, and it's so
that intro is pretty neat too.
The intro's cool, dude. It's really cool.
Yeah. High hopes for Cowboy Bebop. I see great things. Yeah. We'll talk about it a little bit more once we're done with the season.
Yeah, for sure.
Once we both catch up to each other. So I mean, I highly recommend it. It's on Netflix. If it's not in the top 10, it will be in the top 10 very shortly. Sure. Okay, so I mean, check it out. Even if you're not an anime fan, even if you're just curious, like it's something to get into that you don't need to know anything about this world because they're unpacking it for you.
Space bounty hunters, bro. You can't go wrong with space bounty hunters.
That's right. That's right. So very cool. Definitely check out that Cowboy Bebop. All right, so what we got next?
All right, Jonah Hill to play Jerry Garcia.
Oh, he's gonna play Jerry Garcia.
And you know what? I feel like he would have played it better when he had the weight on. Like Jonah Hill.
Well, who knows what they're gonna do? Yeah. He's a method actor. He might pack it on just to do that.
In Jerry's earlier days, he was a lot smaller. He didn't get really big until like the later days or whatever. But
sure, I wonder how they're gonna do it. How they're gonna do the singing and stuff? Because I feel like Jonah Hill can sing. I feel like he just doesn't. Yeah. So, I mean, I'm curious to see it. It's gonna be Martin Scorsese, so like we know it's gonna be a killer movie.
Oh, it's gonna be like kind of like the Queen movie or the Elton John movie or the Doors movie. You know what I'm saying?
I hope so. I hope it's a little closer to the Oliver Stone, the Doors movie, because that's one of my favorites for sure.
They're gonna use a lot of the music, and it's crazy because like the Dead, a lot of people know their songs and don't even know that it's like the Grateful Dead.
That's true.
Before I was into the Grateful Dead, like I didn't know like half the songs that were them. I was like, oh, I know this song.
Sure.
Like, oh, I didn't even know it was them. And then you get into them and you learn all their songs, and they're good songs, man. They go with everything. They're very I don't want to say they're like Beatles-ish, but they're just like jam band-ish. But they like their songs are so catchy. You know, and they can do a song for 20 minutes, man.
Absolutely. I mean, that's what they're known for. They're known for that. And High Times magazine.
And minus Jerry Garcia, they're all still touring. Like Phil Lesh and Bobby Weir and all of them, they are all still touring and doing festivals. They do festivals, man. It's
crazy.
But Jonah Hill's I think he's gonna do good at it. I didn't see anybody else who's in it, so it'd be kind of cool to see who's gonna play.
Yeah, I think it's a little early. I think they're just they got their star, so now they're gonna start working on it, and we'll probably see some more stuff about it. But
speaking of stars,
you call me on that one. Yeah. Nice. See, same mind.
Beat you to it, bro. Let's talk about my boy Pete Davidson, bro.
Listen, I love Pete.
I do.
Pete's crushing it. He's super funny.
Keep doing your thing, bro.
He's super funny. I'm kind of over the dad jokes with that kind of stuff. Like I feel like you're way funnier than that. You don't need to play that anymore, bro. Like for real. But I was kind of surprised. Not that I didn't think you could land Kim. That's not why I was surprised.
Kim's on a rebound. Kim's on a rebound right now
because he was friends with Kanye. That's one. Yeah. So that's his boy. So hopefully he got his blessing first. If you didn't, look out, Pete.
I,
I don't
I
know.
feel like once you get to that level, it's just because they all flip flop all the time.
Right, I get it.
And
I get it.
like,
But that's his wife. That's not his girl. That was his wife.
well,
Like
Kanye's
they
doing
got
his own
kids.
thing now. He's out with models and
Sure,
stuff like that,
sure. I
doing his
get it.
thing.
But that was like his boy, man. That's a
So,
little.
so let
I
me
don't
tell you
know.
what
I
would
don't
be
know.
worse. Like Kim getting Pete or Kanye like getting a model. Like, do you think Kim's just like, I'm just gonna go down? just to like stick it to
No,
him,
yeah,
like,
that's true. So maybe that's why she did it because she's like, I'm messing with your
and
boy.
nothing,
You know,
nothing against Pete, bro. I feel like, he's,
Pete's awesome. I love Pete.
well, you know what? And this is doing nothing but helping him out.
Oh yeah,
like in
and I
every
mean his
aspect,
career is just going up,
you
up,
know.
up, up, up. I mean,
Yeah.
like I feel like
And Kim's
his
hot,
stay on,
dude. Kim's hot as
yeah,
hell, man. Like
Kim's hot as
shit.
hell,
He
but I
needs
feel
the
like he's
dumper, is what he needs to do. Okay. He
yeah.
needs to get her to where, like, she
It's so
trusts
funny.
him, and he just needs to dump her and then just move
Yeah.
on. And then he'll just be like this infamous like John Mayer. He'll be like John Mayer status. He'll be getting like Taylor Swift's and shit after that. Like,
Oh, that's so
Taylor
funny.
Swift's gonna be writing songs about Pete Davidson one day. Like who knows?
Oh man, I don't know about all that, but he is killing it for sure. I mean, he's super funny. We don't know when, but we know,
But he's got like a
eventually.
cartoon. I
Oh yeah,
seen.
that's right. I did hear about that.
Yeah, he's got like a cartoon. I seen the artwork for it. I didn't watch it yet. I don't know if it's even out yet. But I did see like
Yeah,
the thing on HBO. I think it's on HBO.
I think it's gonna be on HBO
So
too.
we'll add that to the list for next week if
Sure.
it is out. I
Yeah,
wouldn't
I
mind
mean
watching
HBO's
it.
dropping a bunch of new stuff, so we'll definitely check that out and see what's going on with that. But I mean, we know that Pete's been on for a couple years now on SNL, and he's always joking about like not being on anymore, being fired. But I feel like he doesn't have too much longer, But this Kim thing kind of like
It,
injected some longevity,
and now
So
I'm seeing all of his SNL clips. To
oh,
where
he's so funny.
well, I've seen him before, like on SNL, but now they're
Sure,
like
sure.
coming in the feed to where it's like, look at Pete Davidson's thing, look at this, look at his roast, look at that. Like that's all I've been seeing for like the last week because of this Kim thing. Like this is like the
Yeah.
best thing that ever happened to him, like for sure. Like I said, he needs the dumper, and like he will literally be ejected into the stars forever. Like, crazy. Like,
Oh my god.
so he's dated like Kate Beckinsale before.
I
Like
did Kip Beckinsale
like
and then
Ariana
Ariana
Grande,
Grande.
and then like some other chicks that were pretty hot, dude. But Kate Beckinsale, bro, like all
I
right,
don't know. Chicks like funny dudes, bro.
all right, so let me talk about Kate Beckinsale real quick. So I was talking about this to my wife earlier, okay? Because Kate Beckinsale is like gorgeous. She's like, there's got to be something wrong with her for not to snag a Brad Pitt by now, bro. Like, you
Yeah.
serious? Like, come on, you've been in the game for a long time. You know the players. Like, you're super smoking. Like, what are you doing,
Playing the
man?
field. She's playing the field,
She's
man.
playing.
Chicks
She
can
gonna
do
play
that
the
too.
field when she's like 90, bro. Like, she's got a bunch of kids already, doesn't she?
I don't know.
Like,
I mean, who knows? Who knows? That's her thing. But
I don't know.
all right. So now we got Spider-Man, man. So we've been talking about Spider-Man a lot.
A lot.
There's been a lot of like speculation going on. Like
Well,
our
the trailer
guesses
dropped
with
last week. Everybody's
Yeah.
dissecting it
they're going in frame by
frame by frame. They're like, oh my god, they took out this person here and they added this here, and
Yeah. So in the new theory now in that preview, if you watch closely, you see that MJ and what's his friend's name? I forget. I'm sorry. I'm like drawing a blank.
Sam, let's call him Sam.
Okay. So I was just that's definitely not his name. But yeah, his friend's about to him and his friend are about to
The guy in the
I'm
chair.
sorry. Yeah.
Ned? Is it
Yeah.
Ned?
Ned, there we go. So Ned and Mary Jane are about to fall off the building, and it looks like he's going for Mary Jane. And a lot of people's theory is that Ned is going to be Hobgoblin in the next movie. And I don't think that's true. I mean, like, I don't know. There's just so much speculation going around this movie that I feel like the hype is so high that I hope it's going to be good.
I hope.
Ooh, imagine if it's not good.
I know, and I'm
Ooh.
betting that is. I'm betting that it is. It's just there's no way they can like, dude. Like this is like Tom Holland's like the perfect Spider-Man. He's like the perfect age. He like looks the part. He's quirky. He's funny. You know, he's literally like he's way better than the other two,
Yeah,
like by far. Um, but I think they're gonna kind of phase him out, or they're gonna try to have him do another side project. I know he's gonna do a cartoon, and then he's got like another movie, but I think they're gonna
yeah,
try to switch him out for a different, for maybe Miles. I think they're gonna try to push Miles, man. Like,
yeah.
so I wouldn't be surprised
Well,
at
who
the
knows
end.
what they bring out at this? They might bring Toby back and say now Toby's the real Spider-Man. How crazy would that be?
Nah, I don't think that's gonna happen.
Well, Andrew Garfield will probably get it before Toby,
Yeah.
you know.
Well, I think
But
they're gonna go in a Miles gig, man, because like, dude, Spider Verse 2 is gonna come out next year,
yeah,
and everybody loved the first one, and it was like that's their next Spider Man. They've done
for
three
sure.
regular Spider Mans already. What's one that they can get into that's a little funky? They're not gonna do Scarlet Spider or like 2099, or I would like for them to
No,
get into the Madam Web stuff, but they want to do
that'd be
Sinister
cool.
Six, dude. So
Yeah,
they're gonna do the Sinister Six movie or whatever, and I think that's gonna be Tom Holland's like last thing that he does for as a Spider-Man. You know,
I hope not. I hope they keep going with it. But you're right. I think they are going to do a Miles thing. I know they are going to do another Spider-Man multiverse movie like they did with Miles.
Mhm.
So, I mean, I think that that's probably the next choice for live action
Yep.
is to get a live action Miles. But well, we'll see with that. But yeah, there's a lot of crazy theories going on with it, and I mean, it's coming out next month. We got like a little less than a month
Was it
actually
December
before it comes
17th or
out.
something? Like you said.
Yeah, so I mean, make sure you go see that in theaters, because there's going to be so many
It's gonna
spoilers.
be packed out, dude. So crazy. A week before
It is.
Christmas.
Try to get your tickets
Get your
now.
tickets
Try to get your tickets
now.
now at AMC. That's right. Because
Yeah.
if you don't get them now, forget it.
This will
Make sure
be.
to see if they have promotional merch too.
That's right. This will be my going back to the theater movie. So,
Yeah,
yeah, I
that's
really
cool.
wanted to
Yeah,
see
no, I did it for
Ghostbusters, but
Ghostbusters. I
I
did it for
really wanted to see
Ghostbusters.
Ghostbusters, but I think I'm away for the Spider-Man. I think the Spider-Man's gonna do it for me.
I understand. I understand. I get it. But there's a lot of new movies that are coming out that look really cool. Morbius is coming out, like we talked about a lot. But
Morbius, yeah, Blade, all that stuff,
the
man.
main thing, I guess, because I could tie this in from Spider-Man to the new Hasbro toy. So Hasbro Pulse has been doing like a lot of different stuff, or Plus, whatever it is, has been doing a lot of different stuff. And because I guess of the new X-Men release of the X-Men 97,
Hmm.
that they are coming out with a lot of the new figures, a lot of the Volta figures that are like super expensive, like like Jubilee and Yellow Suit Wolverine and things like that. So we're going to be getting a lot of new things like that. They're already taking pre-orders on Hasbro, so definitely check those out. We got a lot of cool ones, and I'm looking forward to, and I will be purchasing. So
There you go.
I'll
All
show
right.
them off.
Little side note on X-Men. So I had a pretty cool idea the other day.
Uh-oh,
Okay,
lay
so
it on me.
I'm gonna lay it on you. It's a pretty cool idea, and I'm glad we're live because if Marvel sees this, just send me cool stuff. All right, so we're in the process or in between the next Wolverine, right? So what they need to do is they need to film like a bar situation or a situation where all these Wolverines are waiting to get into the casting room to do their thing. And then you can do your Danny DeVito's there. You can do your like Jay and Silent Bob dressed up as Wolverine, like different Wolverine. Like it'd be so cool to have a room full of people like Matt Damon and Ben Affleck. That's like they're all different Wolverines and they're all
Yeah,
trying to
yeah,
get the
yeah.
part or whatever.
Oh, that'd be
And then
hilarious.
wait. I've got it down to the T. So you hear a bunch of yelling behind the door, and the door opens, and Ryan Reynolds comes out, and he didn't get the part, and he's pissed about it. And he's like, how many superheroes I've been, and I could, I think that would be hilarious. And then he stomps out, and then that's how they
Oh,
announce like the new Wolverine. It's like they like bring out maybe the new guy. Like, nah, we already got our guy, or they just say we already got our guy. They don't even have to tell
yeah,
you who he is. But it would just be funny to see Danny DeVito as the Wolverine because everybody was like trying to
that
make
would be
that happen.
great.
And then
It'd
just
be really funny. That'd be really funny, man.
so
For sure.
Marvel, you can have it. Just send me cool stuff.
There you go. It'd be even funnier if, like, at the end of it, they decide just to go with Hugh Jackman again. They just give him the money that he
they're
wants.
just like, yeah, we already got our guy. And it's like, it's Hugh Jackman.
He's like, what, do you think I was going to let somebody else do this?
Well, it would be funny because, like, all right, so let's just say they did open castings on the next Wolverine. Like, who would be funny? Like, Pauly Shore would be hilarious to be trying out to, like, be Wolverine.
Pauly Shore would
you
be
know
funny.
What I'm saying? Like,
yeah, Tracy Morgan.
Tracy, yeah, that would be awesome too. Or like Chris Rock would be funny to do too.
Sure.
Trying to think, it would be funny for the guy. The first
Adam Sandler would be a good one.
Yeah, or the first Rhodey trying to get back into the MCU. And they're like, nah, we already did this before. You gotta go.
You gotta go. That'd be funny. That would be funny. I don't know. I mean, like, there's a lot of people
Gary
out there
Busey,
that would be
it'd
just
be so funny to have Gary Busey in there and him
or his son. Yeah.
Well, Gary Busey dressed up as like Weapon X Wolverine, like he's not wearing a shirt, and he's got like the diaper on. You know what I'm saying? Like, and he's like made his own claws from like weird shit. Like that would be so funny, bro.
Oh my god. I would like to see that. That'd be funny. That should be like a skit for like SNL or something like that. They do things like that.
They do things like that. There you go.
Yeah.
SNL, somebody do that, dude. It would be so funny.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
And you got to put Ryan Reynolds in it. That's like the funny part.
Yeah, that would be really funny. All right, man. So Fortnite got a bunch of new stuff. We're about to get into season 3. There's a lot of rumor leaks. There's a lot of reliable
sources. Is it chapter or season? Like it's a whole new season, right?
It's a whole new season.
Okay.
So they're going to be doing some different stuff. So obviously they're going to end it with the Cube Queen and stuff. Looks like she's going to be infecting more of the land as we get closer and closer to the time. And then pretty soon the whole land is going to be all Cube monsters. So you're going to be able to like jump pretty far everywhere in the storm, which is kind of cool. And you're going to be able to like throw. They showed like people throwing bottles of the little tiny, like, so you can get the hordes coming out of the Cube monsters. So then they just released Naruto in it, so they have these new like throwing stars type things where they like explode.
Does he do the run? Can you do the run with him?
I think there's an emote for that. Yeah, but they got that. They released Dark Phoenix or Phoenix.
Okay, yeah, I've seen that.
So that was pretty cool. They also now, I think it was just yesterday it happened. They put like a mech suit on the map, 2 of them.
Okay.
So you could do like some different stuff with them, you know, like they're not super fast, they're very powerful. You can knock down anything. You can like jump and do a stomp and just like, you know,
clear an area.
Everything in that area will be gone.
Oh, that's cool.
Then what you can do is you can switch like the driver's seat and you basically plant it down and it becomes like a turret. So on your left hand, you can do like left trigger and right trigger. So left trigger is going to be like missiles and stuff. And then right trigger is like a really powerful like shotgun type gun, which is pretty cool. It also has a self-destruct button, which I thought was pretty neat.
Okay.
So if you're in some danger, you know, like you don't want somebody to take your suit, you know, you just hit that self-destruct button. Oh. Yeah, it also blows up like crazy. So if somebody's near you, you can hit it and then run. It does not eject you.
Oh, that would be
it's
cool.
Just like it's kind of like a car. Like when you go in and out of a car, you know, it's the same.
I was gonna say it'd be cool if you hit that self-destruct and it just blasts you up in like a parachute.
Yeah, no, you stay in it. You stay in it unless you escape. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, no, it's pretty cool though. I mean, I was definitely digging that. We have a lot of new games coming out soon. So we got Gotham Knights coming out. We got the new Evil Dead game coming out, which I can't wait.
I was gonna say a lot of people are waiting for the Evil Dead game, man.
Yeah, it's gonna be cool. It's gonna be supposed to be cross-platform. You're supposed to be able to either be the Deadites or the heroes, what they would call ghost beaters.
Ghost beaters.
Yeah, and Ash vs. Evil Dead. They like they had like a conversation, him and his boy Pablo. And yeah, it's so funny because like, you know, Bruce Campbell is just such himself, and he's just like so racist in it. He's like, Pablo, I got some churros for you. They're in the glove box if you want them. You know, he's just so funny with that stuff. But yeah, so they're talking about what they want to call themselves, you know, and they're like a little team, and Pablo comes up with the ghost beaters, and I thought that was so funny that it just kind of stuck, So if you haven't watched Ash vs. Evil Dead, it is a great
I've only
show.
watched the first season.
Check it out.
Yeah.
It's worth it. It's if you
the
were
first
ever a
season
fan,
was great.
it's definitely worth it.
Yeah. I need to watch the rest. How many is there now? It's like 3?
There's only 2 seasons. There's 3. There's 3 seasons. Yeah.
I'm 2 behind.
Yeah, so I believe they're all on Netflix. So that was like a Starz original show, and it was definitely a fun little ride. I mean, like, we got the original actor, we got the original director.
I was watching. I
writers.
watched the first season because I had Starz at that time because I was watching Black Sails. Like, I was like super big on Black Sails. So
sure.
And then the Ash vs. Evil Dead came out. I was like, I'll watch that too. And then like after Black Sails ended, like I just canceled the thing or whatever.
Sure.
So I didn't.
Well, now it's out, so you can watch it for sure, man.
So I can watch
it's good. It's good, definitely. It's a lot of fun. It's exactly like you would think it's gonna be. It's totally like making fun of itself, and it has some cool parts. They do a lot of like practical effects and a lot of CGI because they had a budget.
Yeah.
They also have
a budget.
Yeah, they also have Lucy Lawless, who comes for like a side character, like a main character in the second season, which is pretty cool. And then they like split her up, and she's like 2 characters. So like, you get to see a little bit more with her. Cool. And then they bust out Lee Majors to be Ash's dad, which I thought was pretty funny. So the cool. The $1 Million Man to be Ash's dad, and that was pretty neat the way they did it. They also show, I guess, that Ash's sister from the original movie.
Mm-hmm.
They bring her back. So like, there's a bunch of different little things, and I mean, it's a fun ride for sure. They have the same car, like they go back to the cabin. Like, there's so many cool things with it, man. I love Evil Dead.
All right, so my favorite thing about, and like I said, I can only speak on the first season because I haven't watched past the first season. So I lived in Jacksonville for however many years, and just their inside joke about how awesome Jacksonville is like hilarious to me because it's
because that was like his awesome fantasy. Yeah.
It's like
Jacksonville, Florida.
It's like what I would think of like a paradise. He thinks Jacksonville, Florida. He's like, Jacksonville.
It's if you think that's funny, man. Because they actually get to go to Jacksonville.
Do they go
Florida.
to Jacksonville? Okay.
Yeah. And they're like partying it up, and he's like having sex with like a girl and like her mom and shit. He's like doing like mom and daughter threesomes. Like,
Jacksonville was not like that for me. I'll tell you that. Not like that at all. But to continue on the games and stuff, man. So this past week, man, has been crazy. So you had Halo Infinite drop. They haven't dropped a Halo in years.
Yeah.
So brand new Halo that came out. You had Battlefield 2042 come out. And then you had Call of Duty the week before. So, yeah. And I've been playing all these games on top of New World. So I've been like all over the place and tired from playing all these damn games. But Halo's good, man. Halo's good fun. It reminds me of back in the day with the LAN parties and stuff like that. It's definitely a slower paced game than like a Fortnite or a Call of Duty. But it's really fun because it's not cross-platform for PlayStation, but PC and Xbox can play. So that's pretty cool. Battlefield is awesome. There's a lot of bugs in it off the rip, but there's always bugs in Battlefield games.
That's the way they do that.
But it's so cool to have all these vehicles and stuff like that in this game. There's like it's like 120 something people playing on the server. So it's like 64, 68 people versus 68.
64, yeah.
Something like that. And you got planes and tanks and everything.
Nice.
Everything blows up and it's like crazy. It's such a cool game, man. And then Call of Duty, it's okay. It's cool because it's the old school weapons. I'm a fan of the old school weapons in Call of Duty. Like, I like Call of Duty 1 and 2 and World at War. Like, those are like some of my favorite ones. So it's a little bit more up my alley, but I feel like multiplayer as a total in Call of Duty lately has been kind of crappy because they just kind of put all their energy into like Warzone. It's just, and I get it, Warzone's that, Halo did the same thing. Halo came out with a free multiplayer. You could just download it and play multiplayer. You don't, need to do the campaign or anything like that. They just, now obviously Halo's coming out with their campaign and you're going to pay for it, but
Ooh,
free
yeah.
multiplayer, but then you can buy the skins and stuff, and there's all kinds of crap to buy in it. So
It's gonna be cool. Yeah, well, they're
it's
gonna
gonna be
make their
cool.
money, of course, like that. Yeah.
It's the way everything's going, but good reviews I feel on all of them. Call of Duty's good, Battlefield's good, Halo's good. Like I said, New World, I'm still cranking on New World. I have like almost 160 hours on New World, and
Whoa,
I'm not
nice.
even like halfway there.
I couldn't
So,
even imagine how many hours I have on Fortnite.
oh
Oof.
man, it'd be great. Does your thing tell you? I don't know if it tells you.
I don't know. I don't know if it does. We play. Me and Mikey play this game. I know. I don't know if you played it yet, but it's an older game, Cuphead.
Yeah.
So Cuphead's pretty cool. But the thing with Cuphead is like each one is a boss, and you can fight the easiest guy and be like, man, this is super hard, and you have no idea
Yeah.
how hard the game actually gets. But what's cool is that in the middle of the game, there's like a little pond that you can go to or a fountain, and when you click it, it tells you how many times you died in the game.
That's cool.
And it was like a couple. It was up to like over 2,000. I was like, damn. Like it's definitely it's not an easy game. I mean, it's a fun game. It's really cool. I like the animation type stuff.
Oh
With
yeah.
it. I love games like that. The music was great. Like it's super cool, but it is hard. And I mean, my kid is 7, and he's like, "Here, Dad, beat this."
Beat this for me. And
Like
like you
after
can't
he's
do
played
it.
it for an hour. Yeah, and if I can't do it, how's he gonna do it? It's crazy, man. But I mean, I challenge you guys. You gamers out there, if you haven't beat Cuphead by yourself, make sure you beat Cuphead and
Beating
don't be playing on.
Cuphead, bro.
Don't play on simple.
No, play
Make
on
sure.
hard.
Yeah, make sure you play on because you're gonna have to do it over anyway. You can't even beat the game at the end. If you beat all the guys on simple, when you get to the very end, they're gonna be like, all right, go back and beat every single one on hard now. Yeah, so it's pretty nuts, man. But it's a really cool game. They're coming out with a Netflix series for the cartoon. I mean, Cuphead's gonna be like they're trying to make it like a new big thing, like Mickey Mouse or something
No,
like
I
that.
like
So
it. I haven't played it. I've seen obviously a bunch of people play it and the screens and everything. It looks and reminds me a lot like Metal Slug, like the Metal Slug games back in the day,
yeah,
like the side scrollers and stuff. Obviously, they have
sure.
the tune aspect of it. I think it's cool that they're using like the old school 1920s tune looking
Yeah,
kind
no,
of
it's
deal.
great.
It kind of
It's
reminds me
great.
of like Roger Rabbit once they hit like Toontown. Everything's less like
Sure, sure. Yeah,
so
it's pretty cool like that.
it's super cool like that. So like I said, I haven't played it. I just haven't played
I should check it out, man. My friend John DeMan, he was the one who like turned me on to it. He was like, "Yo, man, you gotta check it out," because my kid already had it,
it.
but he was like, "Dude, you gotta play it because it's really worth it." And then, my son would ask me every now and again, to be like, "Hey, Dad, can you help me beat this guy?" But then like I started getting into it, and
Give me
we're
that
like,
controller, bro.
I mean, the game's been out for a couple years now, at least like 2 years, I want to say, and like we're so close to beating it, man. But like, we don't play it religiously. It's like, every now and again,
Yeah, sure.
my son will have like a little guys' night where like we'll play video games and stuff. And every guys' night, we always beat like one
One or
guy.
two
We gotta,
levels. Yeah.
yeah, because it's tough, man. It's not easy. I think we literally have like 3 guys left, and that's it. We're done with the game. So we'll see. We'll
We'll
see.
see. Well, I did pick up this bad boy this week, bro.
Oh, nice.
Dun dun
Wow.
dun. Look, it is bigger than my head. Like
Now,
it's
is
huge.
that hard plastic or it's like the regular plastic that comes with a pop?
I think it's like they're bobbleheads, bro.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It
And
looks like
then
hard plastic. That's why.
yeah, and then it comes with the little little silver surfer there. So
I didn't see
I'm
that.
kind of mad because like I got this guy and I'm looking at the thing and they actually have 2 versions of him.
Uh-oh.
And the 2 versions of him, there's one that is he's
Can you
orange.
show us on the back?
Nah,
Let me see.
he's not on the
It's
back.
not on there.
Mm-mm. So, and I don't know about these guys because I don't think that they're black.
Well, they're not big. They're not black light and they're not big. I don't think. I
So,
think they're just regular. They look older.
yeah, but they do have another version of this guy, and he's orange, and I think that's the more expensive one. I didn't really get an option when I ordered that thing months ago. I didn't know that there was another orange or an orange one, so I haven't seen it. If I do see it, I'm gonna pick that one up because that one's just as cool.
Yeah, man, gotta get those Funkos, bro.
But I like my black light ones; they're super cool.
Yeah, that's awesome. But that was really cool, man. All right, so that is the show. So thanks for tuning in, guys. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, we went over a lot of stuff today, man. We're super excited about, obviously Chucky and Dexter. Chucky's kind of wandering down. Dexter's picking
Yes.
up. We're going to get some more shows here in December. Obviously, next week we'll talk more about Cowboy Bebop once we rock through that this week.
Sure. And let us know too. Like we're on all forms of social media. So hit us up. Let us know if there's something that you want us to review.
Yeah, for sure. We will definitely watch it and talk about it, or if any kind of events happening. I know
Sure.
obviously next year once the weather starts getting a little bit better, there'll be a lot of like festivals and all kinds of
Right.
concerts and stuff are starting to rock out that we could start talking about some music and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So
For sure. Well, thanks guys for tuning in. We appreciate it.
See-
And that's the Mike and Rich
we'll
podcast.
see you next week, 10 o'clock on Twitch.
Peace.
Peace.